The extraordinary case of Lydia Fairchild.
Lydia Fairchild was a young mother of 2 in the early 2000s.
She was born in 1976 in the US and had these 2 children with her boyfriend Jamie Townsend.
However, just as she had become pregnant with her 3rd child, the pair decided to separate. After their separation in 2002, both Lydia and Jamie were asked by the state to provide a DNA sample. This was required as part of a routine check when organising how they'd move forward with child support.
Both Jamie and Lydia were astonished by the results.
Jamie's DNA was an exact match to the children.
However, Lydia's DNA revealed that she was in fact not their biological mother. How was that even possible?
Lydia claimed to have physically given birth to both of her children.
And yet now she stood accused of fraud and a potential surrogacy scam.
The social workers and prosecutors involved in the case were certain that Lydia was being deceptive. One theory was that she'd been acting as a paid surrogate,
or potentially that she'd abducted them and was claiming welfare benefits.
Either way, Lydia was suspected of committing criminal actions and would likely have both of her children taken away from her after the trial. With such strong evidence against Lydia, not many people believed her story. She was finally able to secure herself a lawyer that believed her and took on her case.
And it wasn't long until she was due to give birth to her 3rd child.
A DNA test was taken from Lydia and her baby immediately after birth.
And the results confirmed again that Lydia was not a match for her newborn baby.
Officials were now certain that Lydia was acting as a surrogate to fraudulently claim money off of the government. However, it wasn't long until Lydia's attorney had a breakthrough in the case.
He discovered that there was another woman living in Boston who had DNA that didn't match her children's.
However, in this case, elaborate medical testing had solved this medical marvel.
It turned out that this mother from Boston, Karen Keegan, was in fact her own twin.
She had 2 separate genetic strands from 2 separate individuals which had fused together in her own mother's womb. So her son's DNA codes were actually from her twin sister.
You could even say that her sons were in fact her nephews.
After this revelation, further testing was immediately done on Lydia, and she too was in fact her own twin.
The DNA strands that they found matched her children's.
And from this new evidence, the case was dismissed. If it hadn't been for the doctors that tested Karen Keegan's DNA, Lydia likely could have lost the case as well as custody of her own children.
And if you want to hear more mysteries like this one, be sure to like and follow for more content.